Yeah, it's really hard to believe that it's almost another year. It's finishing. So anyway, welcome again here to Drumsticks Sunday. You know, I'm Alberto Iglesias, and here we are to talk about a different pair of drumsticks every week. Cool. Let's go to the new drumsticks of this week, which is the signature model from one of the big ones again. Really big in this case is Mr. Dennis Chambers. Okay, what can I say? Well, first of all, it's another drummer that it's part of the history of this instrument. He's been playing. If you can go to the webpage. I'm not gonna say anything about web pages. Okay, let's be cool. But I can see here, if you go to the bio, you can see a list of people that he's been playing with, which is unbelievable. You can see John Scofield, tons of people, but maybe one of the most known ones, or his more known gig is with Santana, with Carlos Santana, which, as you can imagine, is a huge gig. So anyway, Dennis Chambers is, for those of you that don't know him, he's really known for his groove, for playing in the pocket. It's one of the maybe one of the most representative of that thing, and but at the same time it's like he has two sides. It's the groove or in the pocket side, and then it's the amazing solo, super fast hands, super fast feet, unbelievable crazy stuff going on when he's doing a solo and all that. And it was really fun to see. It was maybe the one of the first really big figures in drummers, as drummers I mean, that I was able to see live here in Spain 4 years ago in the Tam Tam Drum Fest. It was kind of unbelievable. We entered on stage, and well, it was unbelievable. And the way he plays, it was funny here that he was talking about himself and saying, okay, pay attention, here today I'm in clinic mode. This is my clinic hat, and I'm just going for it because this is what I'm supposed to do today. But when I'm hired by another artist to play, it's not the Dennis Chambers gig, it's his gig, and I have to support the band, I have to play for the music with the groove and no crazy stuff or all that. And I think it was great, really great to hear that from him. And it's totally, I think I totally agree with him in that. So, but anyway, it's always great to see him play with this huge kit, a lot of cymbals and a lot of crazy stuff, believe me. If you don't know him, please go to YouTube and check him out, please, and see it. I think it's great to see all these drums. I will recommend you a video from a live concert with Carlos Santana when he's doing a solo. Your mind is gonna explode, believe me. A lot of things, a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of simple stuff too, but oh, wow, it's great stuff, believe me. You can go to YouTube and find it easily. Okay, but now let's talk about the drumsticks. Well, the first thing I have to say, I forgot to say that, is this is the signature model, but with nylon tip. You have both versions. You have wood tip and nylon tip. It has both models, and it's up to you what you prefer. But in my case, I took this because it was the one that I found in the shop, and I think, okay, I don't usually try or use nylon tip, but I think it was very well. Let's check it out. So, well, first of all, let's just start with the picture, so I don't forget the picture, and then we can talk about the drumsticks. Okay, here you have the Zildjian Danish chambers nylon tip. Okay, well, you can go to the, as I said this every week, but I know you can go to the company webpage and check the sizes and information about the drumsticks. In this case, if we go to the Zildjian page, we have this model here where we can see that it has 16 inches long. It has 0.550 inches of grip. Then we have kind of a medium taper, I would say. Medium to long maybe, but maybe medium, it's a good word, I think. I have round nylon tip, and it's hickory and kind of a dense finish. We'll talk about that in the end of the video, okay? Translating that, not a lot of things to say. It's 16 inches, so it's kind of a standard thing. We have 0.550, so it's below a 5/8 from Big Firth. I mean, we have, 5/8 0.565, and in this case we have 550, so it's below that. It's not a 7/8, but it's thinner than a regular 5/8. Okay. Well, the medium and the round tip, nylon tip, medium taper, you can imagine that is what it's gonna do, or well, if you're usually watching the videos, at this point I suppose you have an idea what's gonna happen. Well, as I was saying, a dense finish, natural finish, but kind of dense. Okay. Cool. Well, first of all, nothing to say about the length. Standard 16. Well, I would say that when I was playing, I thought they are longer than 16. I don't know why. It felt that I don't know why. I just thought that it was going to be longer, but today I just realized that it was 16. So 0.550 is below 5/8. In my case, that I'm usually a 5/8 player, it feels good. I honestly have to say that I 5/8 and below that. I like that sizes, but of course, maybe if you are a 5B player, you're gonna notice this more than it's below the 5/8, but it doesn't feel too much. It doesn't feel like that is below 5/8. In fact, I will honestly say that I thought it was 5/8 while I was playing. I don't know why, but today I realized no, it's a little bit less. I think I have an explanation for that, but I explain that later. It's up to you, okay? As I always say, it's up to you if it feels good or not for your hand, for the way you play, and blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about this. Okay, tip, taper, the kind of tip, and all that. Well, the taper is kind of I would say medium, but it's kind of medium to long. Pretty decent taper, as you can see. But the cool thing is the combination, as in many other cases. Well, you have this round tip, medium to long taper, and it's nylon tip. So all of that is gonna work in one direction, which is good rebound. Okay. Well, first of all, the round tip, stability, not a lot of difference depending on the angle. Less weight here, more faster rebound, blah blah blah. Okay, and at the same time we have nylon, which is harder than wood, so it's more stable. The kind of rebound you get, but you get in general, or generally speaking, you get a better rebound. So all of that is working in that direction. I would say that it's true you have a good rebound, but at the same time it's really stable. They are really comfortable to use. Okay. Good rebound makes sense with the way that Danish chamber plays, I think, because they are super fast. I would also say that I kind of light. It feels really light in your hand compared with another 5/8. In this case, because of the because of the nylon tip, you can feel a little bit of the weight of the tip, which is kind of fighting against the taper. But I think you can feel a little bit of that. So maybe it goes a little bit more forward, and maybe it's because of that, the combination you get of it improves the stability. So you have fast drumsticks, or that has drumsticks that has a fast rebound, and at the same time they are kind of stable, like kind of in the middle. So they are really comfortable to use. I can see these drumsticks for another player or somebody that who's starting. The round tip, the nylon thing, and the beginning is not gonna do. I mean, nothing about the sound because you're starting. You don't care about the stuff. So, and I would say, okay, the nylon tip. For those of you that don't know that, you have another videos talking about that. But two main things happened. First one, it's the sound. With the nylon tip, you get more pingy sound. You can hear the sound of the cymbal. Maybe it's because it's plastic. You are gonna notice more of that, more of the ping. For me, it's too much. Honestly, I don't like a lot. I'm not a huge fan of nylon tips. I don't know why. It's just I don't like the sound. But I would say that in my case, or people like me that are usually playing more dry, dark things and all that. Sometimes nylon tip can help you to get a little bit more of that pin that you are missing for some sound or something. But if you are playing brilliant cymbals, for me it's too much. I can hear too much of the ping. It's too excessive for me. But honestly, it also depends on the kind of music you're playing. So sometimes that's what you're looking for. So you have to know what is going to happen if you are using nylon tip. That's the good thing. In this case, you can even have both options in your drum bag. You can have the boot tip and the nylon tip, depending on the sound or what are you looking for. You can get a different pair. I suppose that's why Dennis Chambers has both options. Okay. That's what he's looking for. Sometimes even in the place that you are playing, it's different. The difference of this, the room or the sound you get. Okay, here I need a nylon tip to get more of that. Okay, that's the first thing, the sound, and the second thing is the durability of the tip. Nylon is harder than wood in this case, than this kind of wood. So you can assume it's gonna last longer. Obviously, it depends on the way you play and all that kind of stuff. But the idea is that if you compare the same version of both drumsticks with the same tip, but just one with nylon and one with wood, the nylon tips should last longer. It's not maybe only that last longer; it's that it's gonna suffer less deformation. Depending on sometimes with wood, always with wood tip, the more you play, sometimes the tip starts to flat one of the sides or something like that. In this case, they are usually more stable or they have more consistent during the life of the drumsticks. Okay, and that's why many people prefer nylon tip, because it's more consistent during the life of the drumsticks. So maybe you change the drumstick because you start losing a boot here and all that, and it's maybe because of the rim shots and all that, but not because of the tip. It's more consistent during the whole life. Okay. That's all I have to say about the shape. And the last thing I would say, that it's the thing that I really don't like about these drumsticks. It's not that I don't like, it just doesn't work for me. Is the finish. It has a really dense layer of lacquer, so you can barely feel the wood. You just can feel that material. I mean the lacquer, in my case, I don't like that. In general, it's not of the not because of these drumsticks. As a general rule for me, I don't like that. I just prefer to feel the boot. I understand that you can have something to help you with the grip, but in this case for me this is too much. But really important thing, you have to remember that I'm assuming, but I'm kind of pretty sure that the reason that this drumsticks has that finish is because it's a requirement for Dennis Chambers, which is the designer of this drumstick. So you have to know that as a rule of thumb is that if you have sweaty hands, you are going to prefer more natural finish without any lacquer, just wood and all that. But if you have dry hands, this kind of finish is going to work better for you. It's going to help you with the grip. When I mean it's better, it's going to help you with the grip. It's going to avoid that the drumsticks just sweep from your hands. You can hold it better. You don't have to put it. One of the main problems with the grip is if you have to put effort, you have to put effort or your mind thinking about, okay, I have to pay attention that I can miss the drumsticks or that's a problem. That should be something natural. You shouldn't be worrying about that. So this kind of different finish is gonna help you with that. So in this case, I don't know if Dennis Chambers has dry hands, but I would say that because of the finish. Anyway, maybe it's just the opposite, I don't know, but if you have dry hands, this is going to work really great for you. On the other hand, it's the feel. I don't like the feel of this. If I had that problem, maybe I should take this kind of finish because it's going to work better and all that. But in my case, that I don't have that problem. It's just that I don't like the feel of the lacquer. That's the only thing I would say that is not working for me. Apart from that, really great. I mean, great drumsticks, comfortable to use, fast drumsticks, really cool. Okay. So, what else can I say? Sorry, I have to. And I was saying before. I think that layer of lacquer, I think it's maybe the reason that it feels like a 5A instead of feeling, okay, this is kind of thinner than a 5A, but I was honestly thinking during the whole week that they are a 5A, and maybe it's because of that extra layer that they have here. Okay, I don't know. Cool. So we have another 7 days in front of us to try more drumsticks and almost Christmas. Let's see what happens. Okay. Cool. See you next Sunday.